then things of that nature. So I'm getting ready to put some pieces together, because I definitely have knowledge in that area. I've been married for 22 going on 23 years. So I think whenever it comes to marriage, it's very important that people who already have experience in it and people that still have the receipts to prove that they have what it takes to be able to give knowledge of marriage. Not that my marriage has been perfect, not that I'm better than anybody else, but I really feel like people who have been married for a long time are the only ones that are really equipped to giving marital advice. Not anybody who's been divorced a couple of times and don't really have any proof that they're willing to withstand or they got what it takes to make a marriage continue to progress. So I will be speaking more on that. I heard y'all votes, I heard y'all, and I heard y'all intake on that, because I put it out there, and that is the particular topic that I got the most votes on. So trust and believe I am going to deliver more topics on marriage and relationships. So I'm just still trying to orchestrate how to put it together and where to begin, because there's so much when it comes to covering marriage. So nevertheless, I will be doing that. Just thought I would let y'all know in case y'all didn't think I wasn't hearing you. I heard you loud and clear, and I'm going to work on that. So nevertheless, y'all, I definitely wanted to get into today's topic about how the sisterhood has become demolished. Has definitely become demolished. It's almost non-existent at this point in time. Um, there's a constant decline in healthy relationships. I mean, healthy friendships. As far as women being able to collab, being able to do panels together, being able to build a genuine friendship, being able to communicate effectively. Um, a lot of that has declined significantly. And I feel like at this point is going to continue to decline, especially when it comes to these online friendships, the sisterhood, and even friendships off of YouTube, which I can personally say, because I've had my experiences as well, that in this day and time, it's going to become very harder and harder for women to be able to build a genuine friendship with other women, to be able to build a genuine partnership with other women. And I'm sure a lot of you have been observing, like I have been observing, there's been a lot of chaos amongst a lot of the sisters in the Black YouTube sector. There's been a lot of chaos off of YouTube. I'm sure some of you are probably going through it with other women on your job, with other women in your family, or maybe you have a very toxic friendship with a particular female that you have been friends with for a long, substantial amount of time, and you're reaching a place in your life where you realize you're not growing in a friendship, you're not progressing, your mindset is in a different wave channel, and this particular person's their mindset is still stagnant. They still want to talk about the same issues, they still got the same drama going on, they don't want any growth, they're not trying to elevate themselves, and it can become very frustrating when you're in friendships or you're trying to build a sisterhood bond with other females that are content in the same miserable space, and you're trying to come out the space, but in order to be loyal to them, you're finding yourself confined in a miserable space. So it's various it's various types of friendships other than just online. But I'm just starting to notice that there's a significant division with women when it comes to friendship. And this is the reason why I have been very particular as to who I trust, who I build bonds with, who I get close to. And even with all of my knowledge and wisdom, I have had people pull a wolf over my eyes. I've been deceived. I've been manipulated. And this is the reason why, as much as I would love to come to these sisters' defense. I would love to be able to um, do something positive in which I could bring more sisters together so we can try to build a sisterhood community in which we are actually, willing to come together to construct one another instead of destruct one another. But just based on personal experience and what I've been observing for the clouds, I would never feel safe in the space of other women because there's just so much backstabbing, and there's a huge crab in the barrel mentality in which women are willing to do anything it takes to destroy other women, to bring them down, to destroy them. And I don't feel safe with my own kind. Honestly, I'm not even going to cut y'all no bull job. I don't feel safe with other black women. I don't feel safe because, and I would want to be fair and say I don't feel that way about all women. There are a select few that I feel secure with online, and some I feel secure with in my personal social life. But I don't say names. I don't want to give none of them credit because you never know the time or the day when they're going to fold on. You never know when their true colors are going to come to the forefront. And then that is when you start to like a herd because you rock so hard for this person, you defend this person, you let it be known to the world how much you trust this person, how much you got this person's back, only to find out this woman has humiliated you, embarrassed you, talked about you, exposed all of your personal issues and personal problems to other women. So at this point I just don't feel safe. I don't feel safe, and it's nothing personal to, you know, some of the ladies that I'm cool with. You know, it's nothing personal. That's why I'm not saying names. I'm not saying who I trust, who I don't trust, who I rock with, who I don't rock with, because it's really nobody's business. And secondly, I've learned that sometimes when you give people too much credit, you can end up looking pathetic. You know, you up here defending and co-signing and being a ride or die friend, and you defending this person to the fullest, and only for that person to make you like a herb. And now you got to do 4, 5, 6 hour streams explaining why you confided in this person. You never thought this person would do this to you, do that to you. So I've learned to give people room to disappoint me. You have to do that, and that sounds pessimistic, but at the same time it's realistic. You have to give people room to disappoint you. And I'm sure in friendship I have disappointed other women. I didn't come through when they felt like I should have came through. I probably wasn't as genuine as they felt like I should have been, you know, because a lot of people, loyalty means different things to different people. Sometimes loyalty is when you're willing to let them disrespect you no matter what, and you're still willing to be their friend. Some people, they consider that loyal. If you're willing to allow them to bulldoze you and disrespect you, and no matter what, you still claim them as a friend, they feel like you are really a friend. Or if you're down with them when it comes to them doing their dirty deeds, and you don't try to correct them and say, sis, you know what, I know you're angry, I know you're upset, but that's not a smart thing to do. A lot of them, some women would construe that as you're not being loyal, because if you were a real friend, you would support me in my dirty deeds. You would support me if I want to rob a bank. You would support me if I want to mess with a married man. A lot of women in some instances feel like loyalty means you're willing to co-sign on the bullshit. You know what I mean? So you have to realize loyalty does not mean the same thing to everybody. So nevertheless, I wanted to speak my opinion on um the the demolishing of the sisterhood, because it's at an all-time high right now. And I've come to a point where I realize that the reason why so many of us are constantly at war with one another, and this is specifically, like I said, content about women who are trying their best to sabotage other women. So out of respect, you know, I don't have any beef with anybody as far as I know of on YouTube. So I'm not addressing anybody specifically. I'm not aware of too much of what's going on. And then there's so many women that are doing it. There's not a specific woman that I'm addressing. This is a general issue, and it's a general problem. So there's no specifics. So we don't have to use names. We don't have to put them in the chat. We don't have to put them in the comment section. And anybody who does, I will block you. I will take away your wrench. I don't care what women are doing this. I don't need to know who's doing this. I don't want to know their names. I don't want to know what platforms and channels. I don't care. They're grown women. They got to deal with whatever energy they put out there. That's the energy they're going to get back. So out of respect, I don't want anybody mentioning any of these ladies' names, even if you feel like I'm addressing certain ones, because I could be talking about anybody. And I don't want anybody bringing that negative space to my channel. Anybody who does, I will remove you and I will take away your wrench. So nevertheless, there has been a lot of destruction in the sisterhood online community. And the problem is with a lot of us as women is that a lot of us are already feeling defeated. And what I mean by defeated is that there's always been a nasty stigma about women and how we carry ourselves, our attitudes, our demeanor, you know, our energy, the vibes we get off. It's already, we haven't had a good reputation for quite some time. And a lot of this has been at our own fault, at our own doing, just based on how we've been conducting ourselves, how we handle conflict, and how we react to conflict. So a lot of the negative stigma that's surrounding women is at our own fault. But also at the same time, the narratives that are being promoted about us just added extra hot sauce to the negative stigma that's already surrounding our character and how people perceive us. So with that being said, women, we are already feeling defeated. We're feeling defeated because we already, you know, don't have a genuine liking for one another. Not only that, society has already pushed us to the bottom of the totem pole as being the less desirable. And also, again, you have all of these male dominant spaces that are consistently promoting and pushing the narratives that we're not worthy. Not only that, because they have pushed these narratives, now it gives other people the advantage and being comfortable disrespecting us as well. We got biracial women, non-colored women. You know, now they're even coming in and they're adding in their input as to us not being worthy or us not you know, being valued. And you have other men of other races, non-colored men, who are also putting in their narratives as well. So a lot of us are already feeling defeated just based on what we've been represented as. So the fact that as a group, all of us as women are already feeling defeated, already feeling like we're not being respected, already feel like we're not being protected, whether if it was at our fault or at the fault of somebody else's. It's gotten to a place now where lashing out has become the defense mechanism. That it has become our coping method. That has become our way of trying to protect ourselves by feeling as if the moment somebody addresses us or somebody disagrees with us, we feel the need to have to strike back. We have to go hard. We do not know how to just let things go and tell ourselves it's okay to not have the last word. It's okay to not feel heard. It's okay that somebody took your point and twisted and twist the narratives to suit what they wanted to hear. We're again, like I said, we're always feeling defeated. So we feel we have to win at something, even if it means looking foolish in the process, even if it means losing our sanity, losing our peace of mind, losing our respect. We constantly feel the need to defend ourselves, and it's not just with other black men or other non-colored women or non-colored men, but even more so with each other. Even more so with each other. And this is the reason why the sisterhood is damaged. It is no longer sisterhood like I posted in my community tab. There's no sisterhood. It's just straight hood. It's hood at this point. It's a lot of grown women ratchet behavior. It's a lot of women that don't have no control over their emotions, like they're high school girls. When we're feeling defeated, then comes the disrespect. When we don't feel like we are being heard, or we feel like someone is twisting our narratives, here comes the bitch bombs. We're throwing the bitch word around like bombs in Afghanistan. We're degrading each other, something that the world is already doing, and we keep pushing the same disrespect to each other that the world has already imposed on us. But then it's the contradictory of, we feel like we need to be respected when you see so many outsiders that see us don't respect each other, and they play on that when they see us acting like, we're going at each other like two lions in a cage, where women are consistently devouring each other. It used to be okay back then. Women would just kind of roast each other, we would gossip about each other, but it has reached a new all-time level of disrespect. Disrespect is at an all-time high now. It's no longer roasting. It went from roasting to degrading, to the point to where we have to air out each other's dirty laundry. We're putting each other's personal business out there. And it just amazes me how grown women just can't be grown women. You cannot speak. What happened to just being able to speak your mind and gracefully going about your business? We don't have the tenacity anymore to be able to do that. Not black women, we don't want to back down, because we feel like backing down means you're not being a woman. We feel like backing down and letting somebody have the last say, we're feeling like we're letting them get away with disrespect. When in actuality, when you respond to disrespect, it just becomes even more outraged. It doesn't, in other words, there's no solution. While we're thinking we're getting our points across, like, you gonna hear me, B, you gonna hear me. I'm going to get this off of my chest. I'm going to say what I have to say. And it does not matter how much we go back and forth. Once women have gained a certain level of disrespect for one another, and you both mentally have come to that place where you just don't like that woman. You're not going to like her. And she's not going to like you. In other words, there's no hope for reconciliation. That's never going to happen. And instead of somebody being a bigger woman and saying, you know what, sis, I'm gonna let you go ahead and have this. No, we got to keep adding fuel to the fire. And this is why the sisterhood has demolished so significantly. And whether any of us want to admit it or not, the reason why we as women feel the need to constantly have to defend ourselves, to constantly have to attack when we're feeling attacked, is because we are already feeling defeated at some point in some area in our lives. And this is something a lot of women are not going to be transparent about. And I get it, because sometimes when you're transparent and you put your truth out there, women will use it against you, because women, we know how to hurt each other. Women, we are emotional chambers. And regardless of how strong we are, how educated we are, women are not going to take disrespect from other women. Now, we'll take it from other men, or we may take it from other people who we somewhat got some feelings for, but women aren't going to take it from other women. And as the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. So women as a whole, even individually, we all are feeling like losers in some area in our lives. And I know a lot of y'all are not going to keep it a buck and say that you want to put up this front and act like you got it all together. You got all these degrees. You got you a husband, you married, or you single because you own your own business, or you make your own money. We have our own defense mechanisms we try to use to convince people that we are in a good place, that we're not struggling, we're not suffering. But even with all success, life has failures. None of us out here are exempt from failure. Whether you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Latina, all of us are not exempt from failure. All of us have some areas in our lives where we are flunking, okay? You're not going to have just straight A's on your report card. In some subject in your life, You're going to have a C. You're going to have a minus D. You're going to have a D plus. You're going to have an A plus. None of us out here, whether online or offline, got it so well together that we have the room where we feel like we can degrade or put down other women, you know, because we all are fighting our own battles. My battles may not be the same as yours. Yes, I may be married and have the husband, but my battle may be just trying to keep my marriage together. You may be a single mom, but your battle may be just being able to raise and take care of your children. But neither one of us are no more superior than the other. And I think the problem with us as black women, this is the reason why there's so much disrespect. It's this complex of superiority. And a lot of it is coming through from manosphere, talking points in which men have already categorized us as to which black women are valuable and which black women are not valuable. Not only the manosphere, the YouTube, because let's face it, the whole world don't listen to YouTube. YouTube is a small box. So everybody that's on YouTube is not well known, regardless of what you may think, regardless of how many views. Everybody doesn't watch YouTube. We're already being categorized, like I said about the manosphere. We're being categorized by society. We're being categorized by the world and how they perceived us. And we're already in this little small box. And again, some of us caused ourselves to be there, and those of us who didn't cause ourselves to be there, it's other women who got other people looking at you as if you caused yourself to be there. So even if you are a woman who has made the best of decisions, you went about life the right way, you got married, you had your kids from your husband, or you got your college degree, they're still going to find fault in you due to the fact that so many other women out here that have messed it up for all of us. So even if you try to stand out and be different, you're still going to be perceived as the same. And I think that's the reason why some of us, when we do have one compartment in our lives in which we felt like we have succeeded, we will take that one part and use it to weaponize other women who did not succeed in that area. For instance, you have some women who are married, and because they was not able to accomplish having children, they wasn't able to accomplish having a degree, they wasn't able to accomplish owning their own business, they're going to take that one life and make a big deal out of that, because that is the one compartment in which they know they succeeded. And as far as they're concerned, as long as they can keep addressing that particular part and not have to acknowledge where they failed at, that gives them a sense of superiority. Just like you got single mothers who cannot get married or aren't married. They can't get married for whatever reason, whether if it's their own personal choice or men don't want to marry them. They are feeling defeated in that area of not being a wife. So what they do is they highlight their kids. They brag on their kids. They brag on being a great mom, because it gives them a sense of superiority as, okay, I failed and I flunked in this area, but in this area, I did great. So this is the area in which I am going to minimize other women's success. That's even a word for me. As women, we try to minimize one another's success, and we try to maximize each other's failures. That's the perfect slogan. We minimize each other's success, but we maximize the failures of others. But we will maximize our success and minimize the failure. We'll basically bring down and maximize the success of others while making our success look more superior. And this is the reason why the sisterhood culture is diminishing, because there's all of these outsiders that are already in our ears telling us what type of women are valuable and what type of women are not valuable. So if you have, for instance, and I'm just hypothetically speaking, this isn't picking on anyone, if you have a certain man that's saying that single women are damaged goods, they're not valuable, men that are successful should not find single mothers valuable, that's going to make the women who don't have children feel like they got to one up. Like, I know I'm the shit. I know I'm all of that. I know I'm valuable. Why? Because you're going off the narrative that this particular person is promoting. And because that narrative suits you, you want to run with that. Or, if there's a sister out here that's promoting that, oh, just because a woman is married, that don't mean she happy. You know how many married women, their husbands are cheating on them or messing around on them? Okay, the single mother is going to celebrate that, because that helps to boost her confidence that just because I'm not married, it does not mean I'm a failure, because there are married women who are married and they are still failing. So again, it's back to that concept about maximizing and minimizing. As long as I can maximize my success, I can minimize another woman's failures. And even with all of that, even if you have the room to go in on a person who is not successful in the area in which you are successful, or a person has not accomplished something that you have accomplished, you're still feeling defeated. But again, as women, because we have the defense mechanism, because of what the online community, all of the narratives that has been surrounding us, all the negative narratives, in the online community, and not only online, within the society, we constantly have to have that one up. We have to have that one up. Um, because that's what gives us confidence. And what a lot of women not understanding is you don't have to drag or put another woman down or up yourself because you're a wonderful single mother, or because you're a wonderful married woman. You don't have to attack another woman's failures in order to feel worthy, or in order to feel relevant. Regardless of what, we all have areas in which we are weak, and we all have areas in which we are strong. And if women just learn to celebrate one another's success, regardless of what level it's on, we wouldn't have the problems we'll be having. So there's a lot of damage within the sisterhood. For one, there's a lot of competition. Like I said, it's a lot of one-ups. And another thing is it's too many women that are being too transparent with their personal struggles. We're in a point now in which keeping it real only keeps you in conflict. In other words, sometimes some people like myself, I'm a very open, I'm a very transparent person. I would love to share so much more about my life, so much more about my marriage, so much more about my experiences. But from personal experiences with friendships, online and offline, I've learned that you cannot keep it real with these sisters out here. I'm just going to keep it a buck. You cannot keep it 100. I will tell all women this. You cannot be transparent with other women about your personal issues and your personal struggles. Because the thing is, you don't know how these jokers are going to turn on you the moment y'all have a conflict. Well, you have to realize, anytime you put your personal business out there, and believe it or not, in that point in time, as long as the friendship is good, your secrets are good. Your personal issues are good. As long as you are in a good place with that person. As long as you're in a good place, nothing you have shared with them will be exposed. You won't be exploited. Everything is good as long as you're in a good place. But the most dangerous part is, once you and this woman have a falling out, y'all have a disagreement, y'all don't see eye to eye on something, you automatically make yourself naked. Meaning now, at this point, all bets is off, because you cannot control how that woman will deal with how the friendship has ended. Now, you have some women that are mature enough, respectful enough to understand, okay, the friendship didn't work out, but guess what? Bygones are going to be bygones. I'm not going to break the sisterhood code. I'm not going to exploit her business. I'm not going to tell people what's been going on with her and her husband. I'm not going to let nobody know that she lost custody of her kids. That's her personal business. I feel like on some grown woman shit, that if you and a person fell out and y'all are not dealing with each other, there's no such thing as all bets are off. The friendship is off, of course, but it does not give you a pass to exploit your friend or to exploit anything personal with them. I just feel like that's a code that women don't have a line anymore when it comes to friendship. They don't have a line. All the lines that have been drawn has been erased. Women do not have any rules. They don't respect the code. They don't respect the boundaries. And because, again, we are emotional individuals and we have all of these dysfunctional emotional chambers, we feel like once a person has disrespected us, now we have the right to go out and do the same thing. And what has happened is a lot of people are using it to their advantage. Now you got all of these men that are coming in. They're using it to, they're using the conflict of women, the conflict that we have amongst each other. They're using it to advantage to prove that, see, women aren't civil, women are childish, women are uneducated, women don't know how to handle their business. And anytime they see we are at conflict with other women, they're witnessing us disrespect each other. They're witnessing us drag each other through the mud. It gives them either one or two advantages. These men have the advantage to either finish tearing down women because it proves their narratives that, see, women are messy, women are toxic. Or you'll have the simp brother who wants to come in and co-sign and stroke the ego of the woman who he wants or he's trying to low-key get with. He will stroke her ego by coming in to defend her when it's really about him trying to benefit also. So you have all of these outsiders that are benefiting off of the conflict within the sisterhood committee. And guess whose fault that is? That's our fault. Because a lot of us as women, we are already feeling like losers. We can't take a loss. Most losers cannot take a loss. And this is not to say that all women are losers. But when you feel like a loser, you don't want to feel defeated. So therefore, you feel like you got to settle score. You got to retaliate. You got to get back. Or I'm going to show her. I'm going to show her how I get down. No, all you're doing is showing everybody who's already had these negative narratives surrounding us that you are toxic, you're messy, and you're drama filled. And this is where we are right now. Women, we are at a state of an emergency. And this is the reason why we cannot get the respect we want. And I know sometimes when you're going in on other women, we going in on each other, it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like you're in control. It makes you feel like now you finally got a handle on something, when you really don't have a handle on anything. Because let me tell you something, once that ball gets to rolling, once you start stirring that devil's brew and you start going in on particular people, it puts you in a space of where you constantly got to keep doing it, because now they're coming back. They're going to say what they got to say. And because you already proved that you're not woman enough to back down and let bygones be bygones, now you got to come back. And it's like, again, it's like two female pit bulls in a cage where we're just going to keep digging our teeth into each other until somebody dies. We keep devouring one another until somebody gets killed. And it doesn't necessarily have to be killed as it ends in, somebody getting murdered or somebody, pulling up on somebody. And in some cases, it may resort to that, depending on how bad it is. But how we basically, is more than one way to kill a person. You don't have to kill them just by, physically hurting them, but you can kill that person's spirit. And that is something that women, we have been doing for such a very long time. We have been killing each other's spirit. And another thing is, you have to realize as a woman, when another woman has already decided she does not like you, she has already decided that you think you the shit, you think you know everything, keep in mind, you cannot change how she feels about you. The sisterhood is definitely tarnished. It's tarnished, and I don't think it's going to get any better at this point in time, because again, it's so many broken women. And whether we want to admit it or not, each and every one of us, we are broken in some form or another. It does not matter if you're married. It does not matter if you have degrees. It does not matter if you have 20 children. It does not matter if you have one child. It does not matter how great you feel your circumstances are. Because a lot of us as women, we feel the need to have to keep addressing the areas in our lives in which we feel like we accomplished something, in which we feel like we won at something, because again, we're constantly being our backs are constantly being held up against the wall that we're not valuable enough, we're not worthy enough, we're not doing anything. we're dead weight to society. You know, all we want to do is depend and live on the system. It's a lot of negative narratives that are surrounding us just being women. So whenever you put a bunch of women in the same box, at some point in time, it is bound to be conflict. When I say I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times. When women cannot get together and do something for a long period of time and it not be conflict, even if you're coming together for a good cause, even if you're coming together doing something positive, things eventually are going to derail and go left. It is just not in our nature as Black women to be able to get along for a long, significant amount of time. We see it all the time. And this is not to be negative. I'm just keeping it a buck. See it all the time. In any workplace you go to where there's a majority of Black women who work in the same department, there's conflict. Any neighborhood or area in which there are a lot of Black women, multiple Black women, there's conflict. Any area online where there's a lot of Black women who come together to do panels, there's conflict. We've seen it 1,000 times. How many times have we seen panels start off pleasant and loving and welcoming, where you have women who will come together and give and start off with all of this positive energy? What's up, sis? How you doing, queen? It's good to see you. You know, in like these reality shows, you know, like Basketball Wives and Housewives of Atlanta, all of them come together for a nice luncheon and they give each other hugs and give each other kisses. Hey, boo, how you doing, beautiful? How you doing, gorgeous? Next thing you notice, somebody's goddamn throwing goddamn Chardonnay at each other. They throwing drinks on each other. Somebody's calling each other out. They love to call each other hoes. I don't know what's the fascination with the word hoes, but women love to call each other whores, but yet we get upset when men do it, but that's another subject. It always starts off as the sisterhood kumbaya. And it all derails over a simple misunderstanding. Something was misinterpreted, and the truth is, you have women who will come together knowing they already have a negative perception about what they heard or what they feel they know. So you have a lot of women who will come together and they've already heard something about a certain person, or they've already gotten word, or they got some kind of notion, and they're just waiting for this person to say something out of line or do something out of line. It's kind of like, you know, if somebody's beefing with Mocha, I'll use Amanda. Amanda, me and her, we're cool. What's up, Amanda? If you end up looking at this chat, what's good, what's good, what's good? So Amanda and 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬, we be on 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬's panel all the time. And let's say somebody told Amanda something about me. Oh, don't mess with Mocha. Mocha ain't this, she ain't that, she ain't blah, blah, blah. And Amanda be like, okay, I'm a stay cool. I'm gonna see what she about. And so happened, we both are invited on the panel. And somebody has already given her the notion that I think I'm better than her, better than women. Well, not her, but thinking I'm better than other women, or I think I'm all that. So Amanda may peep me for a while and just kind of see if what people have told her, if any of that is true. And the moment I say something that's simple like, girl, I'm just so glad, you know, I finally got my house paid for and I ain't got to go through that struggle. Now she's automatically going to take that stigma of what people said, how Mocha thinks she's better than everybody. That one little comment, she's going to take it and calculate and have an overall calculation of what kind of female I am based on what somebody else said and based on her notion of what she thinks she sees. And what a lot of women don't realize is that as much as we try to sit up here and lie and tell ourselves we're not going to judge other women, even if there's another woman that's telling you about another female, you be like, you know what? I'm going to get to know her for myself. I'm not going to take what you got to say. You say that, but in the back of your mind, the moment that woman does anything somebody already told you she's going to do, you ready to hit the juggler. You ready to go in. See, that's what I heard. See, somebody told me that's how you get down. You always bragging about what you got. We ain't on this panel talking about no buying no new houses. That's not even a subject. Why are you bringing up that you got a brand new house, sis? We don't want to hear about your brand new house. We know you think you got it going on. We know you think you Madam of Zamunda. Well, don't come over here bringing that energy about what you got when she basically just was sharing something great that she feels she finally accomplished, because somebody already put that notion in your mind. You already had your guns up ready to shoot. You already had your bullets in the chamber. And this is a constant issue I'm seeing amongst women all the time. Somebody already put a bird in your ear, so you are ready to go in on this woman. And truth is, again, as I stated before, a lot of us are already feeling defeated because of personal failures in our life. If we feel like we ain't got a husband, we don't want to hear nothing about no woman talking about her husband, bragging about her. And even if she's not trying to brag as the receiver, because that's something you desire, you may feel some type of way. Or let's say you're a married woman, but you can't have children. You're having fertility issues, and here it is. You're hearing other women brag and talk about their kids and talk about the experiences and the joy of motherhood. Why are we talking about that? How are we going to change the subject to that? She can easily become just as offensive as the woman who's not married. It's almost like when people address an area in which you are failing, it's easily to get offensive. It's easily to think that person is bragging. If you are sure of your area, you are sure of your success, you are sure of your accomplishments. It doesn't matter. And let's face it, there are some women who genuinely just love to brag. It makes them feel relevant. But if you are secure within your own self, you're not going to try to dissect if they are bragging or not. Because you're so sure of where you are in your life, you are so content with where you are. Even if she is bragging, it's like, okay, girl, congrats. I commend you. I wish you well. You could commend that person, congratulate, and you ain't even got to be fake or salty about it, because your time is coming. We all have a time. We all have a season. Or there are areas in your life in which you are content, and I get it. I'm not even going to be phony and be like, I've never felt that way. There was times in my life where I really felt out of place being in the company or the presence of other women who was able to talk about something, and I couldn't relate. I remember one time I wasn't working for a long time. I wasn't working for 2 years. I was a housewife. And a couple of times I got invited out to lunches. I got invited out to dinner with friends. And they would talk about their jobs and talk about, their promotions. And a part of me, I would feel, a little down about it. And not realizing that, there was women who wish they could have been in my shoes, who wish they didn't have to work, who wish they had a husband who would allow them to just sit home, kick their feet off, and just chill and stuff like that. But I don't care what area you are in your life. That's why I said it goes back to feeling defeated. You will still feel defeated. As housewives that feel threatened by women who work and independent, who make their own money. As women who are independent and make their own money, they hating on housewives who got husbands that's able to take care of them and provide. You got some of these women who brag on being independent, but at the same time they want to break. They tired. They're tired of having to be a Power Ranger bitch and do it all the time. They want that privilege and that blessing in which they could just sit back and kick their feet and be like, baby, I got a man. I say, baby, I'm going to take care of you. Just chill for a couple of months till you get on your feet. Some women would desire to have that. Then there are women who've been housewives for so long, they're tired of being housewives. They ready to branch out and start their own business, start their own company. They're tired of just having the role of assisting a husband. So all of us as women, we all have areas in our lives in which we've accomplished something, and other areas in where we are going short. We're not doing that great. But it's only the bitter women who have to constantly make you feel bad about your lifestyle. They make you feel like you bragging too much. or make it feel like you think you are superior, when sometimes it's the opposite thing. Some people feel like you're more superior than them, but it's that projection and deflecting. As long as I can make you feel like you doing too much, that's my way of me not trying to own that I have some little undercover insecurities. I got some undercover jealousies. All women are jealous. Every last one. There's no woman that can convince me she's not jealous of another woman. Now, the difference in jealousy is that some of us, we know how to keep the shit under control, you know? Or we know how to chamber that energy and put it somewhere else. Okay, yeah, all my friends are in college, they got their degrees, but you know what? I'm gonna start my own clothing line. I'm gonna start, doing hair. Some of us just know that that's the only difference. All women are jealous by nature. The only difference is a lot of us, some of us, we know where to place it. Some of us place it in positive areas, and some of us place our jealousy in negative areas. Negative areas meaning I'm going to tear down anything positive that a woman has to say about herself. I'm intentionally find areas in her life in which she's failing, so I can let her know, yeah, you doing all that bragging, but guess what? I know you got this going on. I know you got that going on. Or you got other women, who just don't learn how to channel that jealousy and put it somewhere else. Like, you know what? I'm not even going to hate on this sister. My time is coming. My season is coming. And in the meantime, in between time, I'm not going to hate. I'm going to celebrate, even if it means feeling left out, even if it means, not being within the in crowd. You got some women that are mature enough to understand that their season and their time is coming, and they don't have to knock or drag other women in order to find relevance, to find significance, importance. So this is the reason why the sisterhood is failing, and women, we cannot build healthy friendships. It's all of this trauma bonding. It's too many women who want to get together so they can have a bash fest about one. And that's the worst thing a lot of women are doing. A lot of women are building friendships all because they are trying to build a hate campaign against a particular woman. And actuality, when you build your friendship off of the foundation of that, sooner than later, you and that person gonna have y'all gonna fall out. I've seen it 1,000 times. And I'm not telling women something that I have not done. I'm guilty of it. I have built friendships off of women because we both didn't like the same guy. We both didn't like the same female on the job. I've done it only to find out that our friendship got tested in the end. And we found out that we were not good for each other. And I will not put all the blame and say it was everything they did. Maybe I've done too much. Maybe I was a little too aggressive or too demanding, expecting certain things or looking for certain things. Believe it or not, all of us as women, we ain't got it 100% together. And the problem with the Sisterhood Committee is too many women that want to be the one that got all the knowledge. I've done drive-bys on panels where you got women who want to hog up all the spotlight, who want to hog up the whole platform and speak on things they know, speak on how they feel, speak on what matters to them, that other sisters barely get a chance to even come in and say anything. And this is the reason why I have strayed away from female panels. Now, I have done one or two, but I don't trust what I see. I don't trust the way women are moving right now. I just don't trust the energy that they're putting out there. It's like women are recreating the female versions of manosphere. They're doing the same thing men do, but they're trying to call other women out that are doing it. When really all women are, a lot of them, every last one of them, all of us are guilty of doing that. You know why? Because women, we have vacationed in so many of these male spaces in which you will begin to think like men, you will begin to reason like men, you will begin to feel like men feel. A lot of us have been hanging out in too many man caves. Now, this is not to say that the men are right or the men are wrong, but if you hang in a space too long, if you hang in a space long enough, you will start to think and reason the way the people that you're constantly hanging around does. It's like, I think my grandfather told me this. You can't sit in a perfume factory and don't think you're not going to come out smelling like perfume. You can't sit around a bunch of people who smoking cigarettes and think that fume ain't going to rub off on you. And the thing is, I would say this too. A lot of women are pushing these manosphere narratives about how women are and how women need to be and all of that is because, truth be told, a lot of us vacated in man spaces for acceptance. Now, again, this ain't got nothing to do with the men. The men, they doing what they do. They doing their content, they doing their platform, and it's your free will because these men are not making us be there. They're not making us hang out there. You have a lot of women that are vacationing in man spaces because either they have been ran from a feminist platform or ran from another space, and now they're trying to find somewhere to fit in at because they done burnt a bridge or they done fell out with somebody. Something done happened somewhere. Or a lot of women, some of them that have so much conflict with other women, now they want to hide out in the man spaces because they need to find a new team. They got opponents now, so now they need to find a new home to belong to. They need a new team to be a part of. And what a lot of these guys are not understanding, a lot of these women are, some of these women are vacating in the male spaces because they don't want to be one of the sisters that are ostracized. Some of these women be trying to build friendships with men. Now, if you've always had a balanced platform, like my platform, I'm always going in on men and women. I do both. Okay, anybody who knows me, I do both. So nobody can't never say I flip and I'm all for the men now. I'm flipping, I'm all from the women. I'm all for both. Okay, I'm for it all. You know, I don't just rock with men. I don't just rock with women. I rock with both. So I'm not a flip flopper. I've always had my channel balanced in that manner. But you have some women that have been so ostracized, being a part of the feminist movement, and once they see that the sisters are not giving them back that same kind of love because they have burnt friendships or burnt bridges or whatever, they got to find a new place to belong. And not only that, some of these women feel like if they put themselves in the crowd of men, they won't be ostracized like other women to be ostracized. If she can prove that she's down, if she can prove that she's different, if she could bring back some information about one of these feminists that's an ops for a male content creator whose platform she's trying to become a full-time member of, she'll do that. Anything to try to get in good. But one thing I've learned, and I'll say that this will wrap it up. You can learn a lot about people just based off their actions. A lot of women, I see how they move with each other, and this is the reason why I refuse to build certain bonds and friendships, you know, in these platforms, because I've seen so many women do each other in. I've seen them drag each other through the mud, and I just don't feel safe with the sisterhood. I just don't feel safe. There's one or two, like I said, that I'm cool with on here, and if they rock with me long enough, they already know who they are. I ain't got to put it out there, but I'm very careful. And any woman that's a real woman will respect that. She won't even get offended when a woman says I'm careful about who I claim, because I realize also that I am not a good judgment of character. People who are defended ended up being everything that I said they was not to the people who was dragging them. I found myself defending people who did not deserve to be defended. So I didn't look at it like it's their fault. They fooled me. They deceived me. Sometimes as women, when you get deceived, you get manipulated, or you get did in, you got to look within yourself and do some self-evaluation, and you have to be transparent with yourself if no one would else. Like, what made me become drawn to this person? What made me feel safe building a friendship? So I feel like as women, anytime you fail with someone or you fail with something, you use that situation to evaluate, and you learn from your mistakes. You move on, you move forward. You don't need to build a hating campaign all because you no longer rock with a certain person. To me, it's very juvenile, and I don't know about y'all, but when I see women that's constantly airing out another woman's business, that's already a red flag. I don't need to rock with you. I don't care how cool you are with a woman. If you see how she drags another woman who she's no longer friends with, and you saw how tight she was with other people, and now she's not tight with those people, what makes you think she's not going to do the same thing to you when y'all have y'all conflict, y'all fall out? It never seems to amaze me. Ladies, we got to get it together. There's no loyalty in the sisterhood. There's no more of that. It's non-existent. It's extinct. If you're fortunate, you may have one or two that's always been loyal, still loyal. But for the most part, there's no loyalty. The sisterhood has demolished. Disrespect is at an all-time high. These women, they don't mean nobody no good. They don't mean each other no good. They don't mean themselves any good. And again, it's not to pick on anybody. I don't rock with anybody, so really, I don't rock with too many like that, you know. So I don't have any personal grudges. There's no subliminal messages in this content. I'm not dragging anybody or going after anybody. I'm just peeping, you know, how a lot of some of these sisters are you know, stabbing each other, how they're disrespecting each other. And again, as I stated before, you know, I think that's the point where I almost forgot. Once another woman has already built a notion about you, or she's already programmed herself to not like you, you'll never be able to make amends. I think sometimes as women, some of us, we don't like to leave things at war. We love to leave things in peace. And I'm going to let some of you sisters know something. My peaceful sisters who love peace, who believe in resolving issues, who believe in trying to reconcile things because you don't like to leave things ugly. You don't like to leave friendships bruised and damaged. To all of my sisters that who want peace, keep in mind there's so many sisters out here who hate peace. They don't want it. They despise peace. You're trying to make peace with women who are already at war with themselves. You got some women who love animosity. They love conflict. It makes them feel empowered to be able to hate or despise somebody. Some women enjoy conflict. Some sisters enjoy war. Some women, they like it. Not every sister wants to try to resolve their conflict so y'all can move on to a better place. You have some women who love drama. They sleep with drama. You got some women, drama is their medication. And they're always looking for somebody to fall out with so they can refill their prescription. You just have some women that are like that. And the quicker you understand that, you won't get upset if you try to reach out to a sister to make amends with her and she's shutting you down, or she's doing live streams going in on you for hours versus talking to you. And then what amazes me too is the manipulative ones who try to make it seem like that they had an original liking for you. When I did like a person, I thought she was cool. No, if you really like me, you thought I was cool. You would have tried to resolve this behind closed doors. Why we got to go on a hating marathon or bash mocha marathon? If you really felt like there was a little liking for me or something, you know, you would have tried to resolve it. Then if I would have reneged or folded on you after we had a personal conversation and we decided we're going to let bygones be bygones, and you seeing me over here doing the exact opposite of what I told you I was not going to do, now I can understand you feeling some type of way. But you got to understand, as the saying goes, one misunderstanding can show you a whole lot about can show you how a person really been feeling about you. You would know one misunderstanding, one misconception, one misinterpretation, and they take it and run with it. It just means the whole time they had it out for you, sis. Just take it as an L. Don't get mad, you know. Just take it as a lesson learned. Like I said, there's never a lesson. I mean, there's never a loss. There's always a lesson. There's never a loss. There's always a lesson and a blessing. So anyway, I just hope, you know, this content reaches somebody. We got to do better, ladies. We have to do better. Y'all are adopting too much of this manosphere attitudes. Y'all are starting to become so combative with each other, and it's just, it's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of y'all are mothers, y'all are grandmothers. You know, and I get it. You know, some women, you got to give them the business, especially some of these females, you got to come down on hard, especially when they disrespected you or tried you. But when is it going to end? When is it, or when are we going to raise a truce flag? How long are we going to keep going at it? You know what I mean? At some point, the war got to end at some point. But, you know, again, like I said, if you like war and you like conflict, it may never end. But anyway, this is my, you know, content that I definitely felt it was imperative. I needed to discuss the demolishment of sisterhood, because sisterhood does not exist anymore. If it does exist, um, it's very seldom. It's very scarce at this point in time, especially in these social media streets. I don't take online friendship deep, um, because again, a lot of these people that you connect with, you build friendship off of. Um, a lot of times it's the foundation is built off of trauma bonding. There was something y'all both didn't like. It was someone y'all both didn't like, or you both probably came under the same attack from certain individuals, and y'all felt the need to band together to build an alliance. There's no genuineness, there's no alliances. I've seen it too many times. People get together, fall out, air each other's dirty laundry, doing 5, 8 hour live streams. I don't know, y'all. I'm just not feeling this sisterhood. The sisterhood is just straight hood, and it ain't no good. That's the only thing I'm gonna say on that. But anyway, like I said, this was no subliminal, no indirect. I have no beef for nobody on here, so you know, however they choose to interpret it, because again, women love to interpret shit and make it personal. She must be talking about me. She must be got something to say about me. Well, if the shoe fits, just go ahead on and wear it, I guess. So it is what it is, y'all. Ladies, we got to get it together. I want women to do better, do better, do better. Don't be bitter, do better. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Do you feel the Sisterhood Committee has completely demolished? I don't want anybody saying any names. I want you to be respectful, please. I don't need that kind of energy brought to my channel. Like I said, I got love for all my sisters, but honey, somebody got to tell y'all to get it together. Y'all is just doing way too much. So anyway, it is your girl, your diva and knowledge. Hit that like button before y'all leave. Hit it, hit it, hit it right now. It is your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm gonna always pour you a cup of truth and break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed. Take care. Love you guys.